Thanks very much. It's not just your average Monday today because the first Monday of May is observed as Melanoma Monday. And if you have never heard of melanoma, listen up because it is a serious and a deadly type of skin cancer. Speaking of skin cancer, May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month. And this morning, board-certified dermatologist Dr. Hendi is schooling us on the ABCs of melanoma, including showing us ways to spot skin cancer, how to protect yourself from it, how to stay safe, and how to live longer. Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So let's start, I guess, with the ABCs. What do we need to know about specifically melanoma and skin cancer?
Right. So melanoma is the deadliest skin cancer, and 1 in 9 or 1 hour, every hour, one person dies from melanoma, and it's preventable. Studies show that if you catch melanoma early, you could live, have a normal life. So the ABCD rule is A is asymmetry. If the lesion or the pigmented spot on your back, for example, is not symmetrical. If you put a line down the middle, the left doesn't match the right. B is border, if the borders are irregular or jagged. C is color, if there's different colors, especially shades of dark gray, black, blue. And D is for diameter. If the diameter is bigger than a pencil head eraser, although melanomas can be caught at a younger or earlier stage. Right. And the E is for evolving, if the lesion is changing. So if you have a mole that every year appears to change, don't wait to get it checked out. Go have a board-certified dermatologist look you over.
The checking out is the difficult part sometimes, because sometimes there are parts of our body that we can't see, and I'm talking about the back specifically, and that's one of the key areas, especially for older men, right?
Yes. So men over 50 have been shown to have a much higher risk for melanoma than younger men, and oftentimes it's men, like you said, it's on their back, and you can't see your own back. That's why the American Academy of Dermatology recommends women to check their male partner, especially their back, for any changing lesions. Research from this year has shown that women are 9 times more likely to spot a melanoma than men. So women, check your loved one's back.
But is this something that can affect, we're talking about men over 50, which is a high or higher risk group, I should say. Can affect anybody, though, when it comes to melanoma, male, female, any age, or is there a more specific breakdown?
So it could affect anybody, even pigmented individuals. So it's not a skin cancer that is only for the white Caucasians. If you're lightly pigmented or have very little pigment, your risk is higher because you don't have the melanin to protect you. But if you're African American, Hispanic, you have to check other locations, like under your fingernails, your palms, your soles. Bob Marley died of a melanoma under a toenail.
Oh my goodness, we never even think about that. Yeah. All right, let's talk about ways to protect ourselves. And you brought in some ideas here. And we typically, we hear, protect yourself when you go out in the sun. Don't just go lay in the sun all day without some type of protection. What do you recommend?
Right. So just be smart about it. I don't tell patients to stay indoors because that's impractical. I love to be outdoors. So when you're outside, seek shade if you can't. If you're going to be in the sun, wear your sunscreen, wear sun protective clothing, which are reliable, wear your sunscreen, and reapply your sunscreen every 2 to 3 hours, or if you're in the water at the beach, put it on as soon as you come back.
This is something that we would find in your office. Is that just a fancy magnifying glass, essentially? What is that?
Well, it's a fancy magnifying glass because it has polarized light, and it lets you see the pigment pattern of moles that could be suspicious for melanoma a lot easier. So a lot of dermatologists use this. And, a skin exam is very easy. You've had it, and it's a matter of just looking. Right. It's not invasive. It's just a look over, and if there's any suspicious lesions, I put this on it and look at it, and with some degree of confidence, I could tell if it's benign or not. If I'm not certain or if I'm in doubt, you do a quick biopsy, which literally takes minutes.
Sure. And if people have the question, though, if maybe they've spotted something themselves or on their partner, and they say, oh, I'm not quite sure about this, do you recommend they just come see you directly? Is that typically the best scenario then?
See a board-certified dermatologist. There's a website, spotskincancer.org, that helps you find free skin cancer screenings and also helps you find board-certified dermatologists that could help you.
Are most of, and the initial thing you cited with the rate of deaths at 1 an hour, is that typically because people don't spot these symptoms soon enough? Is it something that is preventable or curable if found soon enough?
Absolutely. So in general, melanoma is a preventable skin cancer, and the biggest risk factor is UV exposure from the sun and tanning beds. So that's prevention, and then prevention, part of it is early detection. So what we're promoting is minimize your risk factors and seek attention so you could have it detected early, and it's just a matter of having a look over by your dermatologist.
All right, it doesn't take long, and start with the look over yourself, let your partner check you out, whatever, make sure there's nothing that is too out of the ordinary on there. The ABCD and E's of melanoma. Dr. Hendi, thanks for joining us this morning. It's 9:40.
Thanks for having me.